Hey, this is Scott. Today I'm gonna make a different kind of video. I just got done playing multiplayer for a while, and I discovered some things that work and don't really work. I played team matches. I played one versus ones. My record is really bad. Like I'll show my record for proof. My name should pop up here. Yeah, so 11. I played more matches than this, but they didn't count it. I must have played like 20 matches. But yeah, I learned a lot from that. So I'm gonna talk about that. This is mostly gonna be a talking video, but I will. Okay, there we go. I do want to. This is gonna be like a tips and tricks video, and I think after this I want to do a Space Marine video. So I'll be making 2 videos. Yeah, this is just gonna be a tips and tricks video. What I learned from my 10 matches. Oh, and there's Sisters. So what I learned from fighting Sisters of Chaos is Sisters tech up way faster than you. Like, they get their upgrades way faster than you do. So that's the scary thing about Sisters, is they level up really quick. Okay.
Yes, of course.
So I discovered. Okay, so I played some multiplayer matches, and I got some tips from people who have like 50 games played, 100 games played. This is what you want to do. So you want to get your builder. You still want to make your barracks first. Where you put it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. You could put it like right here. That way the turrets are, you got this turret here, and you got this turret here. But it's kind of whatever. I'll just do that just to show you.
But of course, Master.
So you have a turret here and then a turret there. You want to turn this on. And when the timer, I know this is late, but when this timer says 20, you want to turn it off. So when it says 20, you want to turn it off. Okay. Now it's off. Actually, I'm going to restart it. So you want to turn it off when it says 20. And another thing you want to do as Chaos is you want to do either, you want to make 1 builder and 2 cultists. Depending on how big the map is, I would make more cultists. But on a small map like this, you want to make 2 cultists. So a small map, 2 cultists, maybe a bigger map, 3 cultists. I'd probably do 4 at the most. Because 5 is just too much to manage. So I'd do 4. So I'll show you.
Thank you.
So
Master.
you can either do builder or cultist, doesn't really matter.
Whatever you
So this is 20, you want to turn this off. So I'll just do builder. Probably better to do cultist first, but it's whatever. So at 20, see how it says 20, I turned it off.
We're here to serve, Master. Whatever you desire.
Okay, so you're done with that. You want to make a generator.
Thank you, Master.
Now you do want to make an armory at level 1, which is what I have not been doing, because I thought the armory was really, really bad. And it is really bad, but it does give you access to 2 things.
Chaos favor us with your attentions.
So what the armory does is it gives you access to grenade launchers right away. As soon as you make the armory, you have the grenade launcher, and it gives Chaos Marines the heavy bolter. The heavy bolter is actually really important. So you want the heavy bolters. So at the beginning of the match, you can either make Marine or your Lord, or Raptor your Lord. Both are good choices. On smaller maps, they're both good options. I would say Raptors are better most of the time, because capturing points is more important. And in my opinion, I think Raptors have more health. Actually, I want to make a test. I'm pretty sure Raptors have more health than Marines. So yeah, either do Raptors Lord or Marine Lord. Now, depending on who you're fighting against, you can do this too. This is only 25 points, and it's a pretty good investment. It's really up to you. If you're fighting Tau, I would get this. But it's really up to you.
Enemies of the dark gods, beware!
Like, if you're fighting Sisters, you don't need this, because they don't have visible units. So you don't need this when you're fighting Sisters.
Chaos Raptors ready to kill.
Okay, this is basically what you want to do again when you play online. You never want to make a third one, unless it's a bigger map.
We live for the hunt.
So you guys have 1620. I just want to do a test.
Our victory is assured. For the dark gods, my lord.
Yeah, these guys are way tankier. So 1620. This is 1620.
Yes, master.
And this is 1500.
Our victory.
Just so you can hear me better.
Assured.
Anyways, what I learned from playing online is you never want to fight these guys. I thought these guys could win, but they can't. So the advantage of Cultist squads over any other unit in the game is they reinforce really quickly. Like, watch. It took like 2 seconds. So these guys reinforce faster than most people. But they're still super weak. So you never want to fight these guys at the start of the match. Marines are really good, but they're really expensive. But they're really, really expensive. And if you start losing, like, if you click on this, it says 4, and if this says 3 or 2, you want to run away. Because they're just so expensive. You can't afford to buy more of them, basically. Another thing I learned is I was watching someone play online. You actually do more damage with your gun than with your mace. And the reason that is fire rate. So the mace is really, really slow. But it does massive damage, as you can see. It does massive damage, but it's really, really slow. And the thing is, I played a lot of online matches, and basically every unit in the game can outrun the Lord. See how slow he is? See how fast these guys are? So everyone can outrun him. So you want to put him in shooting stance. And because he's in shooting stance, getting the weapon upgrade from the armory is a good idea. So yeah, you want to use these guys for cap. And another thing you can do with these guys is rush or scout. These guys are good enough to rush the scout with, but these guys aren't. I would not recommend. I would not recommend scouting with these guys.
Anything for the great powers. But of course, Master. Grant us the gifts of the chaos.
So that's what I mean by these guys are fit. And you see how 4 of these guys killed like 20 cultists? Yeah, that's why you never fight with cultists. This right here is why you never fight with cultists. 4 of these guys killed like 20 cultists.
My life is forfeit.
And because these guys build fast, I would not make more than 2 builders. So you see I have 1 builder here,
Anything
and
for
1
the
builder
great
here.
powers.
That's all you need. You don't need 3 builders.
Enemies of the dark
Never
gods,
make 3 builders as chaos.
Whatever you desire.
Okay, just want to cap these.
Anything for the great powers.
Now, when you're playing a small map like this, you always want turrets. And the more I play online, the more I realize how good
Whatever you
bolter
desire.
turrets are. They're really, really good. So if you play on a small map like this, if you put them anywhere, it's a good spot. If you put them here, if you put the bolter turret here, it covers this area.
Our
If you put the
victory
bolter
is
here,
assured.
it covers this area. And you'll do more damage because of the river. See that symbol over there? So the bolter would do more damage over here.
Our
And I played
victory is
online and someone put
assured.
the bolter turret here. And this bolter turret actually covers like all of this. Which I didn't know. I didn't think the bolter turret had that much range. If you put the turret here, it covers all of this. And if you upgrade the turret, it actually covers all this. Which is a lot. So yeah. When the game gets around like the 4-minute mark, I know this says 8, but when the game gets around the 4-minute mark,
Anything for the
you
great
want to make your
powers.
armory.
We will build it for you.
Now you can speed boost it if you want. It's not getting the armory is not that big of a deal.
Anything for the great powers.
You do want it, but you don't have to kill your guide to do it.
Of course. We will build it for you.
Oh, another thing I learned is these guys die like
Great
instantly.
one.
Your builder units. So as soon as these guys get hit, you want to get out of there. Because these guys die quicker than other builder units in the game. So right now, the heavy bolter is locked off. But once I get my armory going, it should unlock. The champion will be unlocked too. But the champions are really expensive. It's up to you if you want to get them or not. Champions, Raptors or champions are pretty good. Do you see how that's unlocked? The flamethrower is pretty bad. It's good if they're running away. Like if they start running away, the flamethrower is good. But that's about it. So now you have the heavy bolter unlocked. I would always right-click this. And this goes up to 8. Well, now that I have the armory, it goes up to 10. You don't have to get them to 10. Because when you play online, getting to level 2 is really important. So, and 10 of these guys honestly don't win. Like, they lose against Space Marines, they lose against Eldar, they lose against pretty much everything in the game. You wouldn't think they would lose, because they actually have a lot of health. See, they have like 400 per guy, and 400 is a lot of health. But they actually die quicker than you think they do, and they actually do less damage than you think you do. They do. So yeah. So yeah, the heavy bolter is really important, because the heavy bolter basically doubles their damage, and it has long range. Like the heavy bolter can reach up over here, and the heavy bolter, after experimenting with it, the heavy bolter can outrange turrets, which is really important. Basically, the heavy bolter is how you take out turrets as chaos. You can also use this guy to take out turrets, which is really good. You can also use the raptors to take out turrets, but you will lose guys. You will lose guys doing that. They do have a speed boost upgrade, and it's not bad, but it's usually not worth it. So as soon as you get the armory, I would honestly get the gun upgrade. Now the sword upgrade only applies to champions. It doesn't apply to your lord. So the sword upgrade is almost never worth it, because your champion is almost never in close range combat, unless you give them a champion. But it's honestly such a huge investment that getting the sword is almost never worth it. There you go.
I am here to lead you.
Now Chaos Lord with the pistol, I put him in long range stance, because the mace still does higher damage, but the gun has a higher fire rate, while the mace has a very slow fire rate. So the pistol has more damage per second. Oh yeah. The next thing you want to do is
How can I serve?
get your cultist grenade launchers. I'll be honest with you, there's a high chance your cultists will be dead by now. Your cultists usually die around the 3 or 4 minute mark, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. They do reinforce really cheap. 20 per guy is really cheap, and it is worth it. But if your cultists keep dying, you just kind of have to give up on them. Even if you want to do cultist spam. I actually won a couple matches cultist spam, but if your cultists keep dying, you're just gonna lose, you know? So it's not worth it. So around like the 7 minute mark, you do want to go to level 2. Or yeah, level 2. You also get access to grenades. Is this, and this is a speed boost. The grenade is pretty good. It's not great, but it's pretty good. Speed boost is also not bad. It's not great either. It doesn't increase your damage. It's just a speed boost. So they're both okay upgrades. I would only get one or the other. I would not get both. Oh yeah, if you're playing on Blood River, always make this a turret. It covers this and this.
We're here for the
Also, if you're playing on Blood River, I would just probably make a turret here. Put it like right there. This is a good spot.
Whatever you desire.
Basically, turrets are always good.
We're here for the dark gods. Thank you.
Putting turrets here is also good, because this covers your flank. Because your opponent has 3 options. You got this area, you got this area, you got this area. Now every time I played Blood River, they came for this area. So putting turrets here is a good idea. Another thing I would do as Chaos when I played online is you honestly almost never want to buy this, because Chaos Marines lose a lot. So you almost never want to buy this. You do want to buy this. This is way cheaper. So buy one of those around the 7 minute mark. You do want to buy Sorcerer. Now, I actually played against this. I actually played against a Chaos player, And I figured out from watching him that the sorcerer is actually better at close range combat. I don't know why, but his close range, he's just a lot better at close range combat for some reason. He also has that ability that does long range damage, combined with his better close range damage. He's really good. So overall, I would say Chaos Sorcerer, he's a lot cheaper than the Lord, and he's a lot better than the Lord. Also, he can teleport, and he can teleport into melee combat. You can only teleport once, so you have to be really, really careful with it. So I would get the grenade. It's pretty cheap. The bad thing about the grenade is it takes a long time to research. Like, it takes like a minute to research. It is really slow.
True power is here.
Another thing I would do is I would always buy this, because it lets you capture points invisibly. Basically, buying this turns you into a Tau, which is good. So my Chaos Lord did win that fight against the Sorcerer. So the Lord will always beat the Sorcerer, but the Sorcerer, I think, is just better in every way. If you have the choice between Lord and Sorcerer, always make the Sorcerer.
Chaos is the
Like,
only
if
true
your
answer.
Sorcerer and Lord dies, make the Sorcerer first.
Are you sure? It will be done.
Now, the Sorcerer does do less damage and has a lot less health, but he's a lot
It will be
more
done.
useful.
It will be
And once
done.
you get the weapon upgrade, his lower damage doesn't really matter. Basically, you always want the pistol upgrade when you play Chaos. And I would always buy, anytime you make turrets, I would always buy this, because even though missiles do less damage to infantry, it's still pretty good. What makes missiles really good is it can hit more than one guy, while the bullets only hit one guy. So the missiles are better at crowd control. Another thing I learned
Whatever you desire.
is
Yes, we will work faster.
the filers are honestly not that good. I thought
Lord,
they were hard to
lead
kill. Apparently they're not.
We're here to serve, Master. One. Yes, yes, of course.
Try
We're
to
here
play
to
the game, I
serve,
guess.
Master.
See how they're running away, so I'm gonna buy the flamethrower. The flamethrower only takes like a couple seconds to research, so that's worth it, in my opinion. See that move right there is what makes the Lord Sorcerer better, in my opinion. That move right there makes him better. Now, when you make the champion, you do get attack boost ability. This ability is honestly not that good. So it's up to you if you want to get that or not. This ability here is really good for destroying buildings, but it's not very good in a fight. Because Chaos Marines lose most of the time, and if you activate this, you'll just lose harder.
Chaos, consume us!
What else?
Grant us the gifts of the Chaos Gods, Great One.
Also, when you're playing Chaos, you basically almost never want to make this 10. You can make them 10, but you basically never want to. There's no reason. You can only have 2 guns, and even with the upgrade, you can have 4 guns. So there's no reason to make this 10. Yeah, defilers are good sometimes, but not really. It's hard to explain. The defilers aren't really that good. They're not as good as I thought they were. There's not many melee vehicles in the game. Well, the defiler is melee and artillery, but right, basically anytime I made this guy, I lost. So he's not very good. Overall, I do think the plane is better, but the plane does lose. Just one of these will outright kill the plane. So I guess bolter turrets are a lot better than I thought, because one of these fully upgraded, and these are only like $100. These are only like 100 points. This 100-point turret will kill a plane in like a couple seconds. That's something I learned from playing online. So the Defiler, it says it has a lot of health. 33,000 is a lot. But every time I use this thing, it just dies. So I don't know. It's not bad, but it's not good. It's also slower than I thought. I thought it'd be faster. Even on small maps, it doesn't do well. Now, the moment you hit level 2, I would make one of these guys, just to see if it wins you the game. Because making a vehicle, as soon as you hit level 2, will sometimes win you the game.
Anything for the great powers.
Another thing is Chaos is...
But of course, Master.
Chaos has a really bad start. Like, Chaos has cultists. I thought cultists were good, but I figured out that they're not.
Beware!
They're just not good in almost any situation.
What would you have us do?
And I did figure out this playing online. If you're playing two versus two or group matches, I would honestly pick cultists over marines.
We will serve you.
I don't know why, but cultists are kind of hard to kill. Like, as you can see, my raptors couldn't kill those 4 cultists for some reason. Even with the flamethrower, they couldn't kill them. So, for some reason, cultists are kind of hard to kill. And because of that, I would get them a grenade launcher. And grenade launcher is really good. The plasma pistol is also really good. They're both really good options. Actually, I do want to test something. I actually don't know if you make this guy, he'll be invisible too. So I do want to try that. What's another thing I want to tell you? So yeah, you think this thing is good, but it's not really. It's pretty good at taking out squads, but it's not very good against heroes. And it's not very good against buildings. It's pretty good at taking out squads. Like, this thing will win every melee fight, but it'll lose a lot of long-range fights. I do like the plane the most. The plane, I think, is the best one. Out of your 4 options, I think the plane is the best one. But after playing online against real players, it does lose to 1 bolter turret. It's unfortunate. So if you see an upgraded bolter turret, you just can't do anything about it.
Operational. We are the flying.
Oh yeah, see, look, 3,000, 33,000. So yeah, the plane is better. They actually have about the same amount of health. And it's just way faster. This thing's pretty inaccurate. Well, this thing's pretty accurate. Yeah, I would say the plane is better in every way. It's also really good against buildings. Like, it kills buildings, no problem. And most heroes have bad long range damage. So this thing's good against any hero. But yeah, the plane is definitely better in every way. The only problem about the plane is it doesn't slow enemies down. Well, this guy does slow enemy down. Like, you can corner someone with the Defiler. Like, if someone's in the corner here, I can trap them. With the plane, I can't trap people. They can get out of the corner. Rhinos are pretty good. So Chaos Marines have high damage but low health. And if you put them in a Rhino, now Rhinos die pretty easy. But basically you use the Rhino to soak up damage. So basically what you want to do is put your high damage Marines in the Rhino. And you want to put them, you know, you just want to use this as a shell basically. Because your Marines do die really quickly. Every faction has access to health upgrades, which is what makes Chaos kind of bad. They don't really have any health upgrades. They do have this health upgrade, but it's not that good. I'll check. I'll make the. I'll see how much of a difference it is. I don't think it's that big of a difference. I'll get this and this. So this upgrade here increases their melee damage, but it's rare. Even when you make Raptors, it's rare for you to be in melee damage or melee range. So this honestly isn't really worth getting. And the weapon increase is worth getting, but it is a huge investment. Between the heavy bolters and the grenades, it's just a huge investment. So yeah, you basically never want to make the sword because almost none of your units are affected by it, which is weird. It's an upgrade that basically affects no one. So yeah, I get that.
It
So
is as though 1,000 mouths cry out in pain.
So with the champion, you go to the 44. I'll get this to see if it's a big increase or not. But this health upgrade is pretty costly. So you have to get the health upgrade, plus you have to get the champions to get the health upgrade. So you have to get two things to get the health upgrade, which is quite an investment. Guess we'll go with level 3. That's another thing I learned after playing some matches. But yeah, the problem with Chaos after playing a lot of matches is they just simply can't afford anything. What makes Space Marines good is Space Marines are good in any situation, while Chaos Marines just aren't. Chaos Marines are basically they give up all defense for increased damage, and after playing a lot of matches, health is more important than damage. Yeah, I would say health is more important than damage. We were playing Imperial Guard. The thing about Imperial Guard is they do a lot more damage than they do health. But they can get away with it because it's so cheap. And they can reinforce quickly. Basically, the reason Imperial Guard can get away with high damage, low health is because it's not that big of an investment. But Chaos Marines can't really do high damage low health because it's just too big of an investment. So this was 44,
Do you hear the voices too?
63. So yeah, it was about a 30% increase, which is pretty big, I would say. Okay, so I guess it is worth getting. Yeah, so that health upgrade is definitely worth getting. It's just such a huge increase. The only squads you put sergeants on are Chaos Marines, Chaos Raptors. You can't put champions on your demons. So it doesn't really work with demons.
Whatever you desire.
I'll make the
We
level 3
serve
stuff.
here for the dark gods. We will build it for you.
Okay, they do turn invisible.
We need
So yeah,
enemies.
getting a champion on your cultists is a good idea. Wow, they went from 450 to 1890. That's a huge increase. Yeah, the more I think about it, I think
That
cultists are just
is the
better than
way to
Marines.
hell.
Again, you never want to fight with them unless you get upgrades. Basically, you never want to fight
Chaos is
cultists
our
unless you have the armory.
master.
But once you get the armory, you fight with them. So Sacrificial Circle, something I learned is this is your anti-vehicle unit, but it's not that good. It's good, but they're not that good. They are better than Chaos Marines. Like, if you have the choice between Horror Squad and Chaos Marines, say your army dies, for 250, you get pretty good. Okay, Horror Squad is 250, while Chaos Marine is 190. But in order to make Chaos Marines good, you have to invest a lot into them.
I feel
Like,
the
you have to get
warp
Heavy
overtaking
Bolters and
me.
the Champion,
It is a good pain.
while Horror Squads are 250, and you don't have to invest anything in them, and they're pretty good. So I think Horror Squads are worth the money, while Chaos Marines are not worth the money. Possessed Squads are really expensive, and they don't really work on large maps. And basically, Possessed Squads, you basically have to win. You basically have to win with. If you get Possessed Squads and you don't win, you basically lose. Because Possessed Squads are just so expensive. So I would get like maybe one of each. So you can get this level 2, and I would make one of each. Now this upgrade here, I would not get. I think it does affect your Defiler, because I think he doesn't shoot flames at level 2, but once you get this upgrade, I think it does shoot flames. So getting the flamethrower on the Defiler is really good. Getting flames on the Possessed Squad is really bad. But overall, I would not get it unless you. I would get this if you're doing Defiler spam. So here's your Possessed Squad. They're really, really good. They're really fast.
Chaos consume us.
Which is what makes them good.
We are the destroyer.
But yeah. And I would always get this upgrade here. Make your guys invisible. Now invisibility is not that good, but if your opponent is not ready for it, you can often win. It's not that good, but it's worth getting. Now this upgrade here, it's good if you want to take out certain people. Like, say you want to say there's 2 Imperial Guard squads, and I'm saying Imperial Guard a lot. Imperial Guard are hard to deal with. So you can use, there's a couple ways you can use this. There's 2 Imperial Guard squads, you can make one run away and kill the other. And something else you can do is, if you're playing Tau, you can use this on the Kroot, and then kill the Fire Warriors. So it is good, but it's very specific. Only one unit can use it. So it's a very specific upgrade. It's good, it's just not great. So I would almost never get this. Basically, in the armory, you want to make the armory and just not buy anything, to be honest with you. So here's your horror squads. You can put them anywhere on the map. So yeah, horror squads. I would always, honestly, if you have the choice, I'd always pick horror squads over Chaos Marines, because they're just not worth the investment. Oh, there's 2 of them?
I feel the war overtaking me. It is as though 1,000 mouths cry out in pain. I see purpose.
Oh, I got the speed upgrade. Did I not? Oh, I did not. See how the Defiler's winning in this close range combat? So they are good at close range, that's it. You can make them artillery, but it's very situational. See how the horror squad's going right through the armor? So they are your anti-armor unit. Ooh. I bet you can't. Oh, you can. Oh, I actually didn't know that. You can attach them. So Chaos has access to 2 melee units that you can attach your Lord to. So a good option is these guys. And another good option. These guys are really expensive though. A cheaper option is the Khorne Berserkers. Basically, the Khorne Berserkers, they're almost, they're not as good as Raptors, but they're a lot cheaper. Like a lot cheaper. So I think Khorne Berserkers are slightly better than Raptor squads, just because they're just a lot cheaper. Say your Raptor squads die in a match, just get Berserkers. They're just cheaper. Let's see.
It is as though 1,000 miles.
See, there's 60 each. These guys are 50 each. So yeah, it's just way cheaper to get these guys. And these guys are pretty fast. They're not Raptor squad. They're not Raptor fast, but they're pretty fast. And here, see. You can attach your lords to them. That's another tip and trick. Also, the moment you hit level 3, you can make the Demon Prince. And a lot of factions can't deal with it. Because the Demon Prince can kill invisible units. And the Demon Prince does well against anything. So as soon as you hit level 3, I would get the Demon Prince upgrade. Another thing you can get at level 3 are Obliterators. Obliterators are really expensive, but they're good against anything. So Obliterators are also a really good unit. They're basically Chaos version of Terminators. They're pretty good. They're not as good as Terminators, but they're good against anything, which is nice. Yeah, I always get the DM Prince upgrade. They're cheaper than Obliterators, so I'd definitely get the DM Prince upgrade every time. And once you do that, I would get this. So you have a couple options of winning this Chaos. So getting the DM Prince upgrade will sometimes win you the game. Sometimes Possess Squads will sometimes win you the game. What else? Cultists are really good with grenade launchers, but they will not win you the game. They just don't have enough damage. Hell Talons are really good, but they will never win you the game. They're really good at slowing the enemy down. That's about it. Now, when the game gets close to the end, you have the choice of either making a bunch of Predators or a bunch of Talons. Because Defilers at that, like, say it's 42 minutes in, Defilers are just not good anymore. They just die too easy. Hell Talons also die really easy, but they're a lot faster, which makes them good. Predators are good against anything, which makes them better than Defilers. Defilers are only good at close range, and Predators are better than Hell Talons. Because Hell Talons aren't very good against infantry, while the Predator is. So the Predator is definitely better. The Predator is your best choice of all these. Predator is also the most expensive, but it's your best option of the four. But I would always get Predators when the game gets towards the end. And then you have Chaos Energy, which so this makes all your vehicles better, and it also lets your Predator give access to laser weapons. And like I said in my other video, anything with lasers is good. So you always want lasers. Basically, you always want this if you can afford it. It's just really rare. Like, I did one match where I was like, alright, I'm gonna go straight to tier 4. And it just never happened. So, it's very rare to pull this off. But if you do get this, you have a high chance of winning. Just know it's really rare to get this. Once you get that, you gain access to the Bloodthirster. And I do think the Bloodthirster is still the best unit in the game. It just kills everything. Combine that with the Demon Prince. And the Demon Prince is one of the best, I really do think the Demon Prince is one of the best units in the game. So, Chaos Marines are pretty bad. Cultists are pretty bad. Defilers pretty bad. Corn Berserkers are pretty good. You can attach your guy to them. And if you attach your Lord to them, your Lord gives your damage boost to anybody nearby. So, if you put your Lord on your guy, on your Berserkers, they'll have a damage boost. It's pretty good. Corn Berserkers are basically your Grey Knights. But Grey Knights are definitely better in every way. But these are the Chaos versions of Grey Knight. Yeah, this is basically Chaos. After playing enough matches, I will say Chaos Marines are definitely better
I see
than
with
Space
purpose.
Marines. Or, what did I say? I'm having a brain fart.
Show me the enemy.
After playing enough matches, Space Marines are 100% better than Chaos. Space Marines have health upgrades, they have missile strikes, they can't die for a long period of time. They have Terminators. Terminators are just straight up better than everything Chaos. Basically, Terminators beat everything I have. The moment Space Marines make Terminators, they just kill out my army. Yeah, Terminators just absolutely destroy my entire army. Um, yeah, you always want to get the laser upgrades, but it's rare that you'll make it that far into a match, to an online match. It's really, really rare. So yeah, I would get like 2 of these the moment you hit level 2. And if these if these 2 die, I would just give up on them. Basically, you want to make these as soon as you hit level 2, and the moment they die, you just never want to make these again. They're just not good. They're really good at slowing the enemy down. That's it. You're not going to get any kills with these things. Chaos Predator is your best choice. Hell Talon's also pretty good. Making a bunch of these is a good strategy, like making 3 or 4 of these things. If you have 3 or 4 of these guys, you can definitely win the game. So yeah, that's basically the video. It's just what I learned after a bunch of matches. I'll get the Bloodthirster because I think it's cool. Obliterators are definitely better than Marines. Basically every unit you have, even Raptors,
Enemies!
I
We
would say
need
every unit you have
enemies.
is better than
Meeting
Chaos Marines.
resistance.
Which is weird, because in Space Marines are like your best unit. That's the difference between Space Marines and Chaos. Space Marines are your best units in Space Marines. And in Chaos Space Marines are your worst unit by far. Like Raptors beat Space Marines most of the time. Yeah, Raptors are just better in like most situations.
Do you hear the voices too?
Alright, well that's the end of the video. I'll
I am
kick this guy's
Malcolm.
butt real quick. Yeah, basically if something works, if something doesn't work, you just have to give up on it. That's something I learned after playing online.
Sanity is for the weak.
Like, making the same thing over and over again is not gonna work.
Meeting resistance. Is the way to hell.
The reason I play Chaos a lot is I just really like the animations. That's basically it. And another reason Space Marines are better than Chaos is because they have better grenades. Like, I can't throw a grenade right now.
Chaos is our master. I feel the warp overtaking me. This isn't good.
Yeah, so that's it. I'm just gonna end the video. You know, that's my tips and tricks. That's what I learned after playing a lot. It's just Chaos is honestly not that good. I would say if you play Chaos, I'd focus on melee. They're long. At the start of Yeah, basically you always want to make melee units chaos, because they're just... Heavy bolters are really good, don't get me wrong. But, I don't know. See, these turrets here will destroy my vehicles, so I do have to take these out. See, even with the speed boost and the damage boost, it takes a while. The speed and damage boost is already over.
Sanity is for the weak.
Yeah, that's big. See, the Demon Prince killed that HQ. He killed the HQ, level 3 HQ in no time at all. Yeah, Demon Prince is really, really good.
Do you hear the voices too?
That's another tip for you. If you make the Chaos Lord, which is this guy, try to keep him alive. Honestly, in 2v2 matches, I would honestly keep your Chaos Lord like around here.
Taking fire.
And try to keep him alive. Just so you can get the Demon Prince out. So the Demon Prince is honestly a really cheap upgrade. But if your Lord dies, you can buy the Lord again. And then get the upgrade. It's really expensive. Yeah, that's basically it for the video. It's just a tips and tricks video. Sorry, it's really long. I thought it wouldn't be this long.
Hear the voices too.
Sanity is for the weak.
Oh yeah, and you do want to reach level 3. I'd say around the 12-minute mark. I would say like 12 or 15. No. It's really hard to go level 3 because there's just so much fighting. So I would try to get to level 3 around 16, probably 15 minutes. 15 minutes when you hit level 3. So that's the end of the video. But yeah, that's why this video is basically why Chaos Space Marines just aren't that good. Basically, they have one anti-vehicle unit, and they die pretty quick. Basically, the main issue of Chaos Marines is just health. They only have one health upgrade, and it's not that good. And they do have a lot of basically none of their units are super good. Like every unit in Space Marines, like every unit in Orcs is really good, and only like 2 or 3 units in Chaos is good. I would still make everything. Like if you're playing online, just making one of everything is a good idea. Like one of this, one of that, one Raptor, one Marine. That's not a bad idea at all. But yeah. I guess the problem with Chaos Marines is just everything requires such a high investment. None of these upgrades are really all that good. And I don't know. So normally spamming a certain unit would win you the game. In Chaos, it's really hard to spam units because it's just so expensive. And you can't even spam with Chaos because I can only have one of these.
Sanity is for the weak.
So yeah, I think that's why Chaos Marines are just not that good. Because you just can't really spam. Like, you can have like 20 Necron Warriors, and Necron Warriors are insanely good. But I can only have one of these.
Do you hear the voices too?
But yeah, but basically the way you win with Chaos is make Demon Prince.
Show me the enemy.
Demon Prince is really hard to deal with. And Demon Prince can see invisible units, so it's just good on everything. Yeah, on a 1v1 match, I'd make heavy bolters,
We need enemies.
because heavy bolters have long range. And 2v2 match, or 3v3 match, I'd make, Cultist fam.
Must kill.
On 2v2 match and 3v3 match, I'd make Cultist fam. Honestly, all the upgrades for the armory are for basically the Cultists. The Cultists have more upgrades than the Space Marines do. And I think that's the problem. Cultists have a lot of upgrades, while Chaos Marines don't. I think that's the problem. Alright, well that's the end of the video. Oh, and also you do want to get... I forgot about this, and so this gives you hero health upgrades, and hero health upgrades are pretty significant, so you want to get those. And it also makes your sorcerer and your ward better, and I would always get those. Basically, the upgrades in here, you want to buy everything. So you don't really want to buy anything out of this. You want to buy everything out of this. These are your real upgrades. These upgrades here suck. These upgrades here are what you want. And for this building here, you want to buy everything. You want the Obliterator, you want the Prince, you want everything. So buy everything out of this. Everything in here is basically your win condition. All these units in here are your win condition. Alright, well that's what I learned after playing a couple matches. That's the end of the video. Leave your thoughts down there. Let me know if I'm wrong or right about anything. Oh, another thing I want to mention about Chaos is you basically never want to make... I would say you never want to make 4 squads of Marines. Anytime you buy Marines, you should always buy like 2. Never buy more than 2. It's just too expensive, and they're not that good. Demons are way better than Chaos Marines. So, anytime you buy Marines from the store, always buy 2. Never 3 or 4. Okay, well, that's basically it. Sorry this video is really long. I didn't expect it to be long. Alright, that's the end of it. Okay. Alright, bye. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Signing off. I'll have more videos later. Alright, bye.